being at this retreat, I got to meet a lot of other quilters and made new friends. I've learned new things, and I like putting these puzzle mystery quilts together because it's challenging, and the colorway that I chose is not something that I would normally do, but I like it. Okay, I like that I've got to meet you.
Oh, thank you.
Because I like watching your YouTube channel, so this gave me the motivation when I first saw that you put the retreat up. I think I signed up right away.
Oh, yay. Thank you. Thank you. And you are making a pillowcase that another retreat attendee taught you how to make, yeah? So much fun. Just a bonus project, yeah?
It is.
Yes, and it looks amazing. Thank you, ma'am.
I love that I'm doing a color that I would never even do, and it looks incredible. And I love the fact that all I'm doing is ripping out, because I can't get my angles right.
But you will have a quilt
But
top.
I'm on clue 7, so
All right.
I'm getting there.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is a super happy holiday day here at Cotton Cuts. I wouldn't dress this way on an 89-degree day just for any reason. I don't know about you guys. We're having an epic heat wave. Like, we're setting heat records, but that's okay because it is all time to talk about those holidays. We've officially passed October 1st, which for me is my official, it's time to start talking about the holidays that are coming up and that hit us in such rapid succession. So October 1st, here we go, and let's get off and running. So I am seeing my new favorite YouTube username, Fabric Magician Annette. So Annette, I love Fabric Magician. I love that for those that are outside of what we do, they think we are fabric magicians when we create these amazing creations. So I love that name, Fabric Magician Annette. All right, heat is heading back to us in Georgia. Yes, Melissa, it is definitely come rearing back to us. We are hitting some like highs that we haven't hit in like 50 or 60 years. Let's see here. I went and chose not to do a video testimonial, Sarah. Yes. All right. Let's see here. Let's get into today's show, everybody. Don't forget, as always, to like, share, subscribe, do all the things wherever you're at so you guys don't miss a show. I love that with our island hopping yesterday, some people had questions and you guys were like, hey, go watch the live. We covered it. Hey, go watch the live. We covered it. Thank you guys so much for that. It makes it so much easier when we have all the information in one place. Hold on, I'm going to fix this. All the information in one place. Then that way everyone gets all their questions answered at the same time. And I love that I get to give you guys insider tips and tricks. That way you guys will know when all the fantastic things are coming. All right, we're going to start as we always do with questions that have been submitted by you guys. Go to cottoncuts.com/live to submit a question for our show. These are on the table in front of me. I have no idea. I think sometimes Paula just messes with me when she dumps these questions on us. But let's see if perhaps we can all learn something new together this morning. All right, so our first question comes to us from Linda Chen from Portland, Oregon. Good morning, Linda. Thanks so much for submitting your question. Linda asks, I've been quilting for about a year now, and I keep hearing different advice about pressing seams. Ooh, this one's going to be fun. Some people say always press the seams open. Others say press to the dark side. And I've even heard some people say to press to one side, but alternate directions. What's the right way? I'm so confused, and I feel like my blocks aren't lying as flat as they should be. Okay, so this is a question as old as time, guys, is which direction do you press your seams? So my default, and the answer that I will usually go to if I am is to follow the pattern instructions. And so a well-written pattern will tell you which way to press your fabric. And I know that sometimes we as quilters have these rules that we hold ourselves to. I always press to the dark side because I always want that dark fabric to be hidden behind a darker fabric on top of it. Or I always press whatever way I learned to do it. Modern patterns are written with pressing instructions. And that way, when you take two pieces of fabric that have multiple pieces in them and you press them together, your seams are going to alternate directions, which are going to give you crisper points, which are going to make all those intersections come together very nicely. A well-written pattern will have pressing directions where your seams will nest. Now, if it doesn't, if you're making it up, if you're winging it, if you're living large, right? press whichever way makes you happy. And so for me, if nothing is provided, I will press to the dark side, because when I was learning to quilt, you pressed to the darker fabric because you didn't want any lighter fabric to show through the lighter fabrics. When fabric was not made as well as it is today, right? I grew up in an age where it was House of Fabrics and Walmart fabrics, and we never pressed to the light side because you could see that fabric through on the lighter fabric. Now that is an old school of that, guys. Fabric production has gotten so much better. It is actually very hard to see fabric on lighter fabrics unless it's a really, really high contrast. Now, pressing seams open. So we had to, or we were guided, I will say we didn't have to, not everyone had to do this. We were guided to press seams open for the Aloha mystery. And so that was because there were so many intersecting seams. For those of you that did Aloha, there were a lot of half square triangles, there were a lot of squares, and there were a lot of strips. Because there were so many seams, the pattern designer guided us to press the seams open. And in that case, it helped kind of reduce the bulk at your seam. I know sometimes that when you have patterns with a lot of intersecting seams, you can sew through as many as 12 layers of fabric, which is a tough bullet to bite on most domestic sewing machines. And so the pressing directions are sometimes to press open so that way you have less layers that you're trying to sew through at an intersection. Now, is there a right way? Is there a wrong way? No. I mean, ultimately, you're constructing your quilt the way you want to construct your quilt. And so if you feel like pressing your seams in a direction that's different, then that's fantastic. I will not lie to you. And I will say sometimes I press in the direction that the fabric sings to me, right? If I put the fabric on the board and it wants to press itself in a certain direction, I'm going with it. I'm not going to sit there and fight and press against a bulky seam just because someone has told me it's the right way, and I will deal with seams that don't intersect down the road. But sometimes the fabric sings to you. Oh yeah, Catherine says that same thing. Follow the directions that provided. Otherwise, I go with the way the fabric wants to lay. Yes, exactly what I was saying, right? Sometimes the fabric tells you which way it wants to go. And so it's much easier to go with that flow than to try and fight and go with it the other direction, because I've got news for you. As soon as you lift that iron up, that fabric is going to go the way it wants to lay anyways, no matter how long you sit there and you put a clapper on it. All right. Let's see here. So fantastic question, Linda. I hope that's helpful. First step, follow your pattern instructions. If none are provided, do whatever makes you happy, because the idea is to finish these projects. And so don't fight it, just go with it. All right. But I do want to say that that press from the dark side is definitely from a time before fabric was produced the way it is now. Let's see here. Just like my cowlicks in my hair. And yes, I agree. Sometimes you just got to let them go. All right, our second question today comes to us from Roberta Bobby Martinez from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Thank you so much for your question, Bobby. Help. My sewing room is overflowing with UFOs, unfinished projects from the last 5 years. That's a good chunk of time. I have good intentions to finish them, but they're just taking up so much space, and honestly, looking at them makes me feel guilty. Oof. Some of them I'm still excited about, but others, I don't even remember why I started them. How do you organize and store UFOs? Should I just give up on some of them? What do you do with projects you've fallen out of love with? Okay, let's see here. So Bobby, I'm going to be really clear. Like, you are not the only one suffering from this one. This is something that a lot of quilters get into this phase, because a lot of quilters like to cut into piece, but the finishing step is sometimes daunting, or you run out of time, or you move on, and all of a sudden it's not as exciting to you as it once was. And so that quilt top, which the floppy, I've learned that we're called, or is it flimsy? I think it's flimsy. The flimsies get stuck in the corner, and then you move on to the next project because someone asks you to do something and you get excited about the new project, and then you have flimsy that sits on the side. And sometimes you don't even get to the flimsy stage. Sometimes it's just sewn parts and pieces and you fall out of love with it and you move on. So this, Bobby, is a problem that a lot of people have. And so I am a subscriber to the Marie Kondo method of simplifying things. And that is to start sorting these UFOs. And when you pick it up, if you hold it and it inspires joy and creativity in your life, keep it and finish it. If you hold it in that first 5 seconds, it does not give you joy, then it needs a better home than the one you're providing it. And that is helpful to me, because sometimes I feel like if I am taking something that I haven't finished and I'm donating it to someone else, I'm giving a burden. You are actually giving that project a better home for someone else who will actually finish it, love it, and cherish it, versus it sitting in the corner of your fabric room collecting dust, which is not fair to the fabric, and it's not fair to the guilt you feel that it's still there. So this is the if you love it, set it free category of sorting. If it is dragging you down, if it is cluttering space, if it's cluttering your creativity, give it a new home. Give it the gift of a life that someone else will love and treasure it more than keeping it in your space. And then once you get down to just the projects you love, you're going to find that motivation to finish them because they're what you want to do, not what you feel like you have to do. And I know that it was Quilters were like, fabric has such high value. We spend so much money on it. We take so much care in the cutting and the piecing. We have so much committed to our projects that sometimes it is really hard to let them go. But it is in the best long-term interest to let them go so you can channel your resources on things that give you joy and things that make you happy. Let's see here. The other way is once you have all these projects, right? So say, for example, you pull out all these projects and you're like, oh, this was a shop hop. It was fun. Oh, this is a quilt for my nephew who's now graduating high school, but I made it when he was a baby. Oh, this is this. So how do you prioritize? So there are so many ways in which you can prioritize the projects that you're working on. They can be something that this is the one that gives me the most joy. I'm going to start here. And then you just start chipping away at them. There are some thought processes. I've read this. I don't think I've actually started subscribing to it yet. But once you finish a project, then you can bring in a new project. And you can't bring in a new project until you finish a current project. That requires a lot of discipline, gang. I'm usually motivated in the moment. And if I'm at a quilt shop, I don't think I could get back to you. I'm going to get that project. But I do think that is very aspirational, is once you finish a project, then you bring in a new project. And that way you keep that number fixed. And then I also do think that there is some merit to finishing all the projects before you bring anything else in. And I mean, there is value in that. I did have a conversation with a non-quilting friend that if someone was to come into my quilting room and finish all of my projects, like this gnome just came in and everything that's partially finished and they finished all of it, I think I might have a panic attack. Because I think as a quilter, I tend to keep those projects as the, in the event of, or one day I will get to this type of project. And it might be a little anxiety inducing if someone was to come in and finish all of that for me. So I do think that that is something to consider, is that if someone was to come in and finish all of your projects for you, how would that make you feel to have nothing waiting in the wings? And so all of those thoughts, all of those emotions are things you need to think about as you're looking at this pile of UFOs that are building up. Is it better homed with someone else? If it is done, how does that make you feel? And do you want to stifle or perhaps limit any sort of incoming inspiration so you can finish these other projects out? All of that goes into play here, Bobby. You are not the only one that's working through all of this. I guarantee you, as I look around the room here, there are people that are definitely resonating with the things that I am saying. Julie McAllister says, I have a 10+ year project languishing in the tote of a basement. Parts and pieces of a quilt that don't fit together because we were super beginners and made all the piecing mistakes. It has moved to 3 different houses. I think I have totes that have moved and not been opened as well. Thanks for giving me permission to embrace my inner Elsa and let it go. I like that. We're going to be Elsas in our Marie Kondos, and we're going to let it go and give it a better home than in a tote in your basement for 10 years. Because I know you feel beholden to it, but let it go and someone else will find joy in it. Perhaps there's another beginning quilter out there that'll appreciate it for what it is and not necessarily languish over the mistakes. Okay, fantastic questions today, guys. I love these questions. Thank you. If you have a question for next week, go to cottoncuts.com/live, submit the question. We will answer it here and we will go forth. All right. So shipping updates. So we're going to talk about what has shipped in the past week. Under the Sea, Clue 3 has shipped. That shipped Friday. It was awesome. The team got through all of that. We are in the process of anyone who has signed up in the past week. We are getting all of your Clue 1, 2s, and 3s out the door to you so you can get caught up and finish the Under the Sea journey with everyone else. Those will be going out the door today and tomorrow. And then cruise control. Under the Sea moves to cruise control from there. And so that is the best part, is once we get past Clues 1, 2, and 3, then everyone's in a routine. You guys know what's coming. You guys know the design derbies. You guys know what to expect. We're past all the, what is this fabric? I can't tell the difference between. And everyone just gets to enjoy sewing and everything is on time. It is awesome. I want to thank so much all the Oasis detectives. That fabric, here goes the voice again. Here's my water. I got it. Paula immediately starts panicking. As soon as I start talking about my voice starting to go, Paula freaks out. So give me a second here. Where's my Tula Pink sticker on my water bottle? I got that at Market last year. Okay, so that Oasis fabric, you guys, I am so very sorry. That was delayed from the manufacturer. We talked about this last week, that incoming fabric is being delayed for multiple reasons, right? There is cargo that is sitting on the dock that's not moving out because of labor shortages. It is increasing in price due to all the calculations of tariff. There's a lot of reasons why fabric is delayed, and we are just seeing very early days on that. That's where Oasis fit in. The manufacturer kept saying next week, next week, next week, next week. Before you knew it, 6 weeks went on. I thank you guys so very much for your patience. We are all caught up on Oasis. I think one of my Macy on our floor is like, I can't look at Oasis anymore. We've gotten it all caught up, but you guys, we're back on track and should be good through the rest of the program for Oasis. If you were an Under the Sea detective, we updated our wide back options on the website. So we got some new fabric in. We were able to count, add some inventory. So if you are participating in Under the Sea and you don't have your backing options, please go to the website. Make sure you grab those now, because when they're gone, they're gone. So we won't be getting any more between now and the end of the mystery. And so if you are worried about losing it, I would grab it now and make sure you put it with all of your clues and it won't get lost. Please don't wait till the end, because I don't want to have to be the one to tell you we won't have the fabrics that you love today in 7 months. All right, so what's shipping next? Next week, we have Chroma shipping. Chroma is our thread membership, and the color this month is orange. It's October. It's Halloween. It's orange. Orange is fun. Orange is bright. We also have Java shipping. So Java is our 12 fat quarter batik bundles. So this one, it's usually pretty on the nose Halloween. And this one is like fall meets Halloween. This one is definitely more leafy, earthy than traditional Halloween ones. But this is like fall had a baby with Halloween, which I feel like what October should be anyways. So yes, these are 12 seasonally coordinated batiks. Ooh, was that a pumpkin? Okay, no, just kidding. It was just a really, really pretty flower print right there. So if you can see that one, these bundles will start shipping next week. It is not too late to get this month's if you have not already signed up. As we were talking about some fabric delays, Tim Holtz is the second program that is starting to experience some delays in shipping. We are expecting this fabric, and I'm going to use air quotes, in October. That is what we have been told by Free Spirit. So we are anticipating it to come anywhere from October 1st to October 31st. Our team is ready and willing to cut that as soon as it gets here. It'll take us about 2 to 3 days once it arrives, but that'll be the highest priority project when it arrives. And as soon as it arrives, I will let you guys know. We'd like to get those out the door by the 8th. We are going to do our best to stick to that. However, we are beholden upon this external factor. Free Spirit does usually ship early in the month when they give an update, so I am hopeful the delay is only minimal. Given how late we are in the project, I really don't want to have to push it forward a month, push the full program a month, because we only have 2 months to go. So I want to keep everything as close to our original timeline as possible so we can start planning reveals, so we can start planning finishes and all of those things. So we're going to try and stick to October and November for ship dates from us. We will keep you guys updated as we know more. All right, Flyway. We still have a Flyway program that's been going on. So Flyway Clue 9 is going to ship to you guys tomorrow. If you are prepaid, those clues are going to be emailed to you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Everyone, mark your calendars. November 7th, 1 o'clock is when we're going to have our Flyway reveal. This says Central Daylight Time. I think we're past daylight savings on November 7th. Okay, Paul looked it up today. Just kidding. So it is going to be November 7th, Central Time. Central Time. All right. So make sure you mark your calendars. I know we've got lots of folks in different time zones, so make sure that you're looking at the right time zone. I don't want you guys to miss it because it's always a lot of fun. We have guests. We can see lots of pretty fabric, lots of pretty finished designs, and get to see those 10 months in the making come together. Yes, Melissa Feldhaus is excited to see how Flyway comes together. I think you guys are going to love this design. It's, of course, different than others. So between 9 and 10, we always encourage you guys to sew those clues together and put them up on your design wall, put them on your floor, put them on tables, and kind of play with the pieces and kind of see how it comes together. This is one of these things that in what I think we're on 18 or 19 quilt designs now, I think less than 5 people have ever guessed a finished mystery quilt design. Paula is messing with some lights. Yeah, okay, so I was getting there. Gosh. Paula. Okay. So many people have tried to guess the final designs. And in all the times we've done this and all the thousands of people that have participated, less than 5 people have ever guessed it correctly. And so I'm challenging you guys to play with your finished clues, lay them out, see if you guys can get close to. Send us a photo at help@cottoncuts.com and we will see who gets closest to the final answer without going over. I guess we can do that. It's not really Price is Right. Ian is also in parallel. He has been working on his guess. He already submitted his. So we'll be able to compare how close he came to the final design as well. Julie is saying, it was so awesome to see you at Tower Grove Pride last weekend. I hope it was a good time for you as well. I'm holding onto her star kit for a retreat project. Okay, so Julie met us last weekend at Tower Grove, which is a park here in St. Louis, had a Pride festival. And Cotton Cuts designed up 4 different rainbow Pride themed pre-cut kits, and we had them at the show. We're going to upload those on our website soon. Once we do, we're going to post it in all of our Facebook groups so you guys will see it. But we had a great time. There's actually a lot of quilters that came by the booth like Julie and said hi to us, and it was a great weekend. We also had a make and take. So, there we go. Paula. So here we have one of the quilts that we designed. So this is our rainbow star pattern. We had a lot of fun there. We had a free make and take event where we had kids, really anyone that walked by could make a fabric covered button of their own choice. Here's another one of the quilts that we designed as well. These were 100% pre-cut kits. So all those triangles are cut. You get the binding. The backing is completely your own. Yes, Julie, that was the star kit that you bought. Yes, so Sarah is right. You're going to want to go to our website. We're hoping to get those up today and tomorrow. We've had just a few amount of things going on. Yes, Jana, that star is super pretty. Dawn on my team helped me pick out the fabric, and then she was the lucky one selected to sew the star, and she was absolutely vibrating when she brought it in on that day because she was so happy with the outcome and how it came out. It was fun. Yes, Melissa, those are still available. We have them in limited quantities left over from the festival. Those will be on the website in the next couple of days. I will go ahead and put those on the website, and I will make sure that you guys get the information. Okay, so they're asking, how do we get it? Give us like 24 hours, gang. And then there's the heart pattern that we designed using Moda Grunge in a rainbow collection. And then I think there's one last one. Do we got the one last one? She's working on it, gang, in the side. Okay. Let's see here. All right, she's going to get the last one. We had a progress flag design made that took Savannah maybe 30 minutes to go sew together. She said it was super easy. Again, everything is pre-cut. All the strips are measured precisely. It was a lot of fun, and our team was happy to be there and supporting a great cause. All right, so what is the team working on like right now? So what is happening behind the cameras in the shop? Right now, our team is working on Mystery 50 Island Hopping. We spent all last week talking about it, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail other than to tell you guys 9 colorways sold out yesterday. I'm going to say that again. 9 colorways sold out yesterday. I know we talked about this for weeks, and we were like, things are going to sell out quickly, and make sure you're ready, and make sure you're there for early access, and make sure you're there at 10 o'clock. Guys, things sold out really darn fast yesterday. So please, 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 when we talk about Rosa's Holiday Your Way, set your timers, because as much as I see the people that are like, I missed it, I missed out on my colorway, I'm so, so, so very sorry. And we always like to include as many people as possible. But when it's sold out, it's sold out. And for that program, we can't get any more of any of those fabrics. The timeline is too tight, and we've already pre-cut so many. It's that program goes too quickly. We just cannot get any more fabric in time in order to get your quilt on time to be able to sew. So I'm sorry, guys. We've done the best we can with what we've got. And don't forget, for the wide back pillowcases, if you've ordered, please go get those kits as well. Because again, once those are sold out for the wide back pillowcase kits, they're going to be gone for good. And please, I feel bad, but it is unfortunately the way that we have to do that. We've also updated Aloha. For those of you finishing your Aloha Mystery 50, if you missed out on getting a wide back for that, there are a few more that were added to the website. Please go check them out. We will not have them up there for long, I promise. Next week is Cotton Cuts' birthday. So Cotton Cuts' birthday month is October. I've told our origin story before, and I will definitely start telling it again next week. Cotton Cuts started 9 years ago. We launched our website on October 1st, and October 20th, I carried our first 30 boxes to the post office. This month, we're going to be carrying about 6,000 boxes. We don't carry them to the post office anymore. They thankfully come pick them up. But this month, it's about 6,000 boxes are going to go out the door. And so we always love our birthday month. The live show next week, please join me. We're going to be giving away a bonkers, ridiculous amount of stuff. You are not going to want to miss that. It is going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you join us next week for that show. And we're going to have some stuff on social media. This is like Paula's Christmas. She really likes the Cotton Cuts birthday. So we are going to have a lot of specials and a lot of fun things going on. Let's see here. Lauren is saying she's sad she didn't get her early access email. I'm very sorry about that, Lauren. Depending on your mail provider, sometimes it gets filtered to promotion, sometimes to spam, sometimes to trash. If you can, Lauren, send an email to help@Cotton Cuts, and we will see if we have the right email for you to make sure you don't miss out going forward. And so unfortunately, her island hopping colorway she likes is gone. I'm very sorry about that, Lauren. Definitely email in. I want to get that fixed for you so you don't miss out on something going forward. All right. Lauren already did. Fantastic. And I have no doubt Carrie is on it. Okay. Let's talk about Rosa's Holiday Your Way. So this is a super fun, fantastic time of the year. This is going to be our 5th time doing Rosa's Holiday Your Way. So let's kind of break down that title a little bit. So as we've talked about, Rosa is the name of our logo. That is the Cotton Cuts spiral logo. We named her Rosa many, many years ago. And so she is the persona that sponsors our Holiday Your Way program. And why Holiday Your Way? Everything at Cotton Cuts, we want to make sure that you have the option to customize and personalize your own experience. That's why we offer multiple colorways with all of our programs. That's why we give you the choice. That's why we have platinum, and you can choose this or this or this. This is one of these things that we like doing this because we don't want a one size fits all. We don't want it, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. That's not fun. That's not enjoyable. And every quilter is different. Everyone likes different things. And so when we look at our counting down to the end of the year, we want to make sure that we are including as many different varieties as we can for how you might be celebrating for these next 3 months. So Rosa's Holiday Your Way. I want to give you guys the punchline and the sign up so that way you can just put these things on your calendar. So you can go to the Cotton Cuts website right now, and you can go to the cottoncuts.com/Rosa-holiday-your-way. I don't know. Paula's about to put it up on the screen. It is actually in the header bar on the website right now. If you go to cottoncuts.com, and there is a little form for you to put your email. And when you do that, you will get a full 24-hour early access to signups, which will be happening 1 week from today. So on October 9th at 7 a.m., we're going to open signups to only those people that put their email in on that box. Then a day later on October 10th, we will be opening Rosa signups for everyone else. So if you are interested in getting in on this, please, please, please make sure you mark down those dates, mark down those times, make sure you enter your email on the website, and you will be the first to know so you don't miss out. Because as I go through all of these, I want to make sure that everyone knows that there are going to be less than we had last year, just because of different economic factors and things that are going on. And these will sell out. And so I know that I said that for Island Hopping, for Mystery 5.0, and I'm going to say that here. And it's one of those, we're not doing that. We have to keep kind of numbers around things. And some of these programs, once we buy the boxes and we buy some of the notions, the lead time on those, we can't necessarily always add to. We will always make every attempt to, but we can't always do that. And so I want to make sure everyone's clear as to everything that's going on in the timeline. Now, what does all of this mean? So for this year, we will be offering three different options for Rosa's Holiday Your Way. Some of them are oldies and goodies, and one of them is a new version of something we did last year that we internally here are very excited about. So the first one is our Fabric Enthusiast Countdown Box. So if you love fabric, and I'm pretty sure that applies to a lot of people that are watching me now. If you like fabric, and specifically if you like fat quarters, this is the perfect box for you. So this is our closest to a traditional Advent or a traditional countdown box, where you are counting down either to 24 days till Christmas or 31 days till New Year's. Not everyone celebrates Christmas. We get that. That is totally fine and fantastic. So we have a 31-day offering. And so you will get the box, and inside of it, there's going to be a whole assortment of cute little bags like this with numbers on them. And you can do the responsible thing and each day go into your box and grab one. Inside each one, there's going to be a fat quarter of fabric. and an inspirational quote. I'm actually going to open this one live. Inside, I'm hoping it's pretty fabric. It usually is. Oh, it is. It's Cafe. Okay. So inside each one, there'll be a fat quarter and then an inspirational quote. And this one says, big ideas have small beginnings. Every day, there'll be a fat quarter of fabric and an inspirational saying. And on the back, it says, take this card with you and share with a stranger to brighten their day, right? So each day you can take this and say you're sitting and you're having coffee. You can leave it on a table and brighten someone's day. That's part of the spreading the cheer of the season. I know it's a small detail, but it is something we really like to do here. And we make sure we include that in all of our fat quarters. So you have the option for a 24-day or a 31-day, because depending on what you're counting down to. Now, I'm going to ask this question of you guys because I was thinking about this morning. Do you count down or do you count up? So we're going to fast forward the clock to December 1st. Do you pull out number 1 first or do you pull out number 3124? Do you count down or do you count up? I was thinking about this, and I think I am traditionally I'm going to start with 1 and I'm going to go 1 to 24. Or 1 to 31 instead of the other way. But I'm just interested for you guys. Do you guys count up or do you count down? It was just one of those mind-bending questions. And I asked my kids, and we went down multiple rabbit holes this morning about it. Pull 1 first, count down to 1. I have a feeling we're going to be 50-50 on this guy. Okay. So not only do you get a fat quarter, you get your choice of 24 versus 31. You get your choice of cotton versus batik. So we know that people are either batik lovers or they're cotton lovers, and nary do the two combine. Sometimes they do, but we really have people that love batiks and people that love cottons. And so you get your choice of 24, 31, and batik or cotton. And in that case, you're going to get all batiks or you'll get all cotton or all cotton fabrics. Now, usually what we do is we've put in some fat quarter friendly patterns in each one. However, this year we're going extra and we're going to do more. And we're going to put in a book of fat quarter patterns. So there will be an actual book inside each one of these boxes that will have a collection of fat quarter friendly patterns. And so here's the surprise. There's going to be an assortment of books. So I can't tell you which one we're going to get. It's going to be a surprise depending on the box that you've got. And so in that case, you'll be able to actually do something with these fabrics. Right? I feel like I love these fabrics. They're always so much fun to do stuff with, but I need inspiration because I don't always at my fingertips have fat quarter patterns. And so we wanted to make sure that each person got a book that actually matched, that they could actually sew and achieve projects with, because what's the purpose of getting fabric if you're not actually going to use it? All right. Some people, it looks like I'm seeing, that people love the batiks. I'm seeing people, matching the day. So you open number 1 on the first, number 2 on the second, counting up, match up to the day, start from 1. Okay. So good to know, you guys. It seems like more people start from 1 than 31. So we will keep that in mind when we're packaging these guys up. All right. So there's multiple choices. We also, in all of our Rosas, we include this wish list. And so I think this is something we tuck in there. And it's one of these I really loved when we do this. I love when we put this inside each package, because how many of us as quilters have family members that give us gifts that aren't quilters? And they're guessing as to what they think we're going to like. And they might give us a gift card to a store we've never been to, right? And so we want to make sure that the people that are gifting us gifts as quilters help us hit the mark as closely as possible. So we've created this cute little form, and it's going to be included in all the Rosa boxes. And it talks about your wish list. What is your favorite fabric designer, your favorite color, your favorite thread? What's your favorite local quilt shop and online shop? You can never have enough of something. You will never turn down this. I have always wanted, but have never bought for myself. I love that question, because gift giving, you want to give people things that they've always wanted, but never bought for themselves. You want to learn how to do this in 2025 and then other things. And so we're going to be including this in all the Rosa boxes. So you can give this to all the people in your life who are like, my mom, sister, aunt, brother, cousin is a quilter and I don't know what to give them. So this way you can help gift them and guide them in the right direction to maximize your happiness. Let's see here. Melissa says the wish list is nice, but no one reads hers. I'm so very sorry about that. That's unfortunate. Yes, we did hear a plane. So Terry, we haven't done planes in a while because it's been relatively quiet, but that was definitely a plane. Let's see here. You're not guaranteed to get a specific designer in your box. Jana, that is absolutely correct. For the fabric enthusiast box, it is going to be an assortment. It's all quilt shop quality fabric. It is all designer fabric. And these are all fabrics that have been released within the past 12 to 18 months. So it's all fresh fabric. And so this is definitely something that I showed you Cafe. It's not going to be an entire box of Cafe. You might get 1 or 2 fat quarters of Cafe, and everyone's box is going to be different in the way that we construct these. It appears as though it's military plane testing day. But the way we construct these is each box is going to be different. So if I get a 24-day cotton box and my friend gets a 24-day cotton box, our fabric might match, but it might not. And that's part of the fun and the joy of these boxes is you can get on Zoom every day with someone and open the box at the same time and kind of see, and perhaps you want to swap. Like I got this fabric and I'm not a big fan of Cafe, but my friend has Allison Glass. Hold on. Yeah, okay, sorry. So whenever they do that, it is definitely military plane day, and they're gonna pass over us 3 times. So that is 2. It's gonna happen a 3rd time. But say I open Cafe and my friend has that Tula pink I've been craving. You can swap either. You can swap them. Here we go. There's the 3rd time. Okay, Jean says she makes copies of her wish list and tapes it everywhere. I like that. Like tape it everywhere they are. That is absolutely fantastic. All right, let's see here. I want to make sure I covered everything. Okay, so we are going to have to raise the prices on these this year. That's unfortunately the state of the world we're in. And I am proud to say that for 4 years, we haven't raised the price of this box. So we've been holding the price as steady as we can. Unfortunately, some of these raw materials are increasing in cost. That is outside of our control. So the 24-day countdown is $85 and the 31-day countdown is $100. It is the same price for cotton versus batik. Those actually, the price difference between those 2 fabrics are getting much closer together. So it is the same price for cotton or batik, no matter what your choice is. All right, next box. This one's my favorite because this gets to that category of things that I've wanted but haven't bought for myself, or I didn't know I needed, and when I get it, it brings much joy. Let's see here. Nicole, okay, let me talk about this before I jump into the notions. Nicole is asking us, are we under attack? No. So Nicole, we are actually just about half a mile from a regional airport. And so this is actually a really big commercial area. There's like big box stores. There's the big soccer complex. We're in a giant building with a whole bunch of stuff. It's just they test military planes a couple times a week. And it just appears as though 10 o'clock on Thursday is the day they're doing it this week. So we are not under attack. They're just testing the jets. And Boeing is headquartered in St. Louis. So this is going to happen a lot. Let's see here. Let's see. My sister can't wait and opens all the days at once because she gets so excited, Sandy. I am not going to tell anyone. I would probably wait a couple days and then open 5 at a time, wait a couple days, open 5 at a time. But that's just me. There's some people that are, they're the ones that just take the one bite of chocolate every day and can do that for a long time. That is fantastic. I respect you. All right, then next up, we have our Notions and Gifts Enthusiast box. So this is the one that, like I was saying, this is the one that are the things that you've wanted and haven't bought for yourself, or the things you didn't know you would love and are delighters and inspire you. And our team loves shopping for this one every year. It is, I'm going to show you what some are from last year. We have a couple of these, we have a couple items still hanging around in their packaging for just this purpose. But you are going to get 13 little envelopes like this. They're fun. They're bright. They're really, really actually stinking cute. And there's going to be a sticker on it, and it's going to give you a hint of what's inside of it. So this one says a few of my favorite things. And this one says, never forget where it came from. And so these are just, sometimes we do, riffs of songs. Sometimes we do just punny, funny, quilty sayings. But the idea is that the quote on the outside will give you a hint as to what's inside of it. And so you can do the kid thing and kind of squeeze it and shake it and see if it makes sound, and then open it up and see what's inside of it. So I'm going to show you what this one is, because this one we were super excited about. Katie and the Machine is a company located in Australia. And so they came up with this cute little tape that talks about what type of fabric it is, what the width is, where you bought it from, Is it pre-washed in any notes? So you could take these stickers and you can actually apply it to the fabric in your stash and know a lot more information about it than if it gets stuck there and you need to buy more of it. So we loved this. This was included in our boxes last year. It's not going to be included in our boxes this year again. Sorry, guys. We've already used it, but it is this fabric ID tape. It is a low stick. It's acid free. It's got all the fantastic things with it, but we included it as last year. This is one of these things you might not have known it existed, or it's something that you saw in a store but didn't want to buy, because this one I think retails for like $25. That's kind of a chunk of change, but we're able to actually include it in our boxes because it's fun. And why wouldn't you want to have that? And now that you have it, you know you need it and you want it and you love it. So there are 13 in this box for the fabric for the Notions and Gifts countdown. Now, why 13, right? This is holiday season. 12 seems to make more sense. It's a nice even dozen. Well, because we're at Cotton Cuts, we love, we have a lot of things that we do that are New Orleans based. And lanyap is a concept that is Creole based, where you get an extra item for free, for fun. It is a baker's dozen. It is that 13th item. And as we're thinking about this, why don't we splurge here and include 13 items in the box instead of 12. That way there's a bonus day. So if you choose to open these daily, perhaps there's a day you double up and you open up 2. I saw some unboxing on these last year. So these aren't numbered, you guys. These are not something that we're going to tell you everyone opens it on this day. I feel like, you know, I want a little bit more flexibility than that. Perhaps, you know, I want to start counting down on the 1st, sometimes the 12th, and I want my last day to be on Christmas. Sometimes you might just want to keep this in your sewing room, and perhaps this is the reward you give yourself for finishing all those UFOs. And say you finish a UFO, you get to pull an item out of this box and open it. You finish a UFO, you get to put an item out of this box and open it. We want you to have the most flexibility to do this all as possible. Now, I do know there's some people, and I love and appreciate these people who get the box and open everything in the same day. That is awesome. And if that is you, then you get to holiday your way. And we love and support that. Let's see here. Just one more package and then they are all open. Yes, Jean, fantastic. Okay. So this one, we really increased the value of this box this year. We found some really, really, really big items that we could not say no to. And so the retail value of this box it's going to be over $180 total. So we found some really cool gifts in there. And it is going to be $150 this year. So you are going to get $30 extra of value from this box than if you were to buy each of these items individually at a quilt shop. We describe this box as something that's fabric adjacent. So we don't traditionally put fabric in this unless it's associated with the project. We do have an item in the box this year that will have 2 fat quarters with it. But this is something that it's more fabric adjacent. So if you're a fabric lover, this is probably not the best box for you. If you're an experienced quilter and you have a lot of gadgets, but you want to see the latest and greatest and new, then this is a great fit for you. Or if perhaps you're in a group and you're looking for quilty gifts to give to people, this might be a good inspiration or a starter of, hey, I'm in a group and I'm in a Secret Santa and I want to find ideas. This is a great source for that as well. Or you can just keep all the stuff and have a lot of fun things for next year to get you started with ideas and inspiration. All right. So that's our second box. Now our third box. So this is the upgrade to something we had last year. And we are calling this our Scrappy Happy Holiday. Was it Scrappy Happy Holiday? Scrappy Happy Rainbow Row by Row. Scrappy Happy Rainbow Row by Row. And so this is a derivation of our Stitch It boxes last year, where we die cut triangles and squares, and each day you opened a different color themed box and you were able to piece them together with whatever you want. So what we've decided to do this year is actually link it to a project. And so you'll still, same concept, you'll get die cut triangles and squares with the right amount of coordinating fabrics to actually make a row each day. Each row is, and I did not write this down, so I'm going to make this up. It is 8 by 32 inches. And so that's how long each row is 8 by 32. So each day you're going to open a box. And so I'm going to show you. So you're going to have this little box and it says number 1 on it. And you're going to open it up. And I believe 1 is red. Oh, no, 1 is pink. Just kidding. 1 is pink. And so inside of it is going to be scrappy pink fabrics, all fabrics that read pink, as well as coordinating the fabrics that you need to make a specific pattern that's going to be a row. And so you're going to make this row together. and then set it aside. And then the next day you're going to open 2, which is red, and you're going to open 2, and it's going to have instructions to make a row. And at the end of 12 days, you will have a rainbow set of rows that you can stitch together. Now, if you choose to just stitch them all together, you're going to get a finished scrappy quilt that'll measure 48 by 60, so a good throw size quilt. We are also going to be including the binding in this project as well. So the backing will be completely up to you. Now, I know that there are people, we've talked about this before, makers versus creators. If you are a maker, you can follow the pattern and just each week have your finished, or each day have your finished row, stitch them all together and have a beautiful rainbow row by row quilt. However, I know there are creators out there. I just saw some posts yesterday in our Facebook group about Tim Holtz and people that are modifying the design and coming up with their own patterns. You can definitely do that. You can take these fabrics and you can choose not to do the pattern we provided you and do a different pattern. That is completely up to you. If you want to take all these fabrics and just shake them out on a table and put all of the fabrics out and make your own thing, I'm not going to stop it, and I'm going to love it, and I'm going to appreciate it because I love that that works for you. I remember Catherine. So let's see here. Some people are saying that they remember her package from last year. That some people, have actually made finished quilts from this, and it is fantastic. And they were lovely. We're upgrading it this year by giving patterns and having it be a sew along. So that way we can all finish our quilts that we make. I had a lot of fun doing the rows last year, and I thought that would be a fantastic way to inject some new fun into it for this year. So you can choose to follow the row by row, or you can create your own path. You can be the maker or the creator. Again, we're giving you as many options as possible to holiday your way this year. All right. So Catherine is also saying that, so for the 12 days, sometimes it's December 26th to January 6th for the Feast of Three Kings. Absolutely right. It is, again, you can start it whenever you want. You can end it whenever you want. That's part of the program and the beauty of. We are going to continue to do reveal videos for these guys. And so we're going to do one definitely for the notions boxes, the gifts and notions. And we will do one as well for this row by row project. And so we want to be able to do those videos. If you don't want your surprise spoiled, please don't watch them. I will do, as I do all the time, a disclaimer talking about don't watch this video if you don't want your surprise ruined. We don't want to spoil your mojo. But I really liked when we were talking about the notions and gifts, kind of what the reason why they were picked and why they were included in the box. And I feel like that helps understand kind of the purpose behind. Because if you would have just opened this guy right here, it'd have been like, well, why is this here? I don't get it. I don't know what the purpose is. I don't know what the value is. And here, by explaining to you kind of why it's here and why it's cool, I really like being able to add that next level of information for the whole program. All right. Oh, and the other bit about the Scrappy Happy Rainbow is that it's not necessarily holiday linked. So there's no like holiday specific prints in here. So if you wanted to make this, you could do, there's 12 in here. You could do one row a month in the year 2026. So you can pick out row box number 1 and do it in January, box number 2 and do it in February. It is not linked to anything holiday related. It is just a fun project that we were doing around this time of year because all of us like to have fun little projects to kind of escape some of the stress that might be existing in our lives around the next 3 months. Now, I know that traditionally, when we've done Rosa's Holiday Your Way, for the past several years, we've had a mini puzzle mystery quilt. So we've done table runners, we've done placemats. We've traditionally had a mini program that we've run in parallel with the Rosa's Holiday Your Way. When our team was looking at it, we were going to count the island hopping as our Rosa's Holiday Your Way project program because it's going to run at exactly the same time. Our mini mysteries usually start in the middle of November and they end by December. And so when we were looking at, that's a lot, guys. That's a lot for us. That's a lot for you guys. And we wanted to make sure that, island hopping is a really, really cool program. And really, that's the kind of thing that we really wanted to put a lot of effort and resources around. So that's something, it's the instead of the mini mysteries, for Rosa's Holiday, we're using the island hopping, which of course launched yesterday at 9 colorways sold out and all that good stuff. All right, so let's review the timeline on all of this. So that's the 3 that we're going to be doing this year. They will start shipping on November 1st. So they're going to start shipping on November 1st. So that way everyone will get their box by December 1st. We know that there's a lot of international shipping hiccups and that we want to make sure there's plenty of time for things to work through the system. If you were in Canada, I'm going to apologize in advance. We can't ship anything to Canada right now because Canada Post is on strike. So we are monitoring that situation daily. And as soon as it is lifted, we will put all of these projects in the mail to you. So that way you can make sure to get started as close as possible to beginning of December, however you're choosing to open these boxes. You can definitely, first thing, go to the website right now. Paula has it on the screen, cottoncuts.com/rosas-holiday-your-way, or it's in the header bar. If you don't want to type all those dashes, trust me, I don't either. It's in the header bar on the website. Enter your email to get early access. Early access is starting on October 9th on Thursday. Regular access will start on October 10th. And that's when everything will be made available. Everything will be on the website. And again, everything's going to start shipping on November 1st. But wait, there are 2 more things because we are bonkers and because we just add more to our plates. The first 25 people to sign up for Rosa's Holiday Your Way on early access, it'll probably be early access, guys, the way these things work. So the first 25 people to sign up are going to get one of these lovely ornaments. So this is a laser cut wood ornament of Rosa. It's Rosa's Holiday Your Way. So we're going to give the first 25 people that sign up an ornament. Last year, number 26 emailed me and was like, hey, I thought I was one of the first 25. And it turns out she was about 4 minutes too late. Guys, I'm so sorry when that happens, but we only have 25 of these. We have a local manufacturer that makes them for us. This is a friend of Paula's. And so these are each hand done. We're going to get 25 of them to include for the first 25 purchases. And there's more as well. So do you guys remember this guy from last year? We have just a few left. And in the spirit of giving them a better home where someone's going to love and treasure them, if you buy anything related to Rosa's Holiday Your Way, any of the 3 boxes, you can add on a Frosty Pines pillow kit, which looks like this. All of those little triangles are all pre-cut for, all those little squares are pre-cut for you for 50% off. This is the part of the, like, if you're looking for a quick project, I know Tishua Bradley won a free one last year and she sewed it together and had it in time for Christmas and was able to put it in her house. And it's fantastic. So you don't have to, if that design's not your jam, if those fabrics aren't your jam, then completely get it. We have just a few left. And so that you'll have the option to add that on for half off its price. All right, Paula, I think I've got all the stuff. Yeah, Paula is looking like I've covered all the things. She's looking tired, like she's been working tirelessly on these projects of late. So I think that's everything, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me to end the show. Of course, as we do with every show, we're going to do a giveaway. And we're going to give away a $25 gift certificate to the Cotton Cuts shop. Find this video on Instagram, on YouTube, or on Facebook and answer this question. What's your favorite holiday tradition that involves making or creating something? Okay, so find that question, find this video, and put into the comments your answer to that question. What's your favorite holiday tradition that involves making or creating something? So I'm going to answer this question for me. So I think for me, it's not quilting related. It's not sewing related, but every year we make our own Italian dinner. And so we make our own pasta. We make our own sauce from scratch. We make all of our cornbread. Like we do a lot of from scratch cooking, things that you don't normally do on a busy Tuesday when we're running between soccer games and volleyball games and track practice. And so we take intentional time out to home make a from scratch meal. And to me, that is my favorite holiday tradition that I treasure and will value. And I know that my boys will carry with them through adults. I'm reading some of the comments, making cookies and other baked goods. Yes, Lauren, I think the baking is definitely something that sings holiday to me. That means the holidays are here. A white elephant Christmas, Brandy. I love that. Making sugar cookies with the children and now grandchildren. I love cookies. Making fudge recipe for the grands. Ooh, I love some fudge. And no joke, I might be bothering you. Okay, baking my grandmother's molasses sugar cookies. That's very specific, Sarah. I love that. I like baking and eating cookies, particularly ones I dip in chocolate. I like your style, Jana. I'm in on that. Our family makes fruit baskets, making Christmas cards, and still loving snail mail. Yes, still loving the snail mail at this time of the year. Cotton Cuts, walking all the lights around town. So I think Paula, likes walking around all the lights around town. Yes, St. Louis does have a lot of very good light displays. It's fantastic. Christmas ornaments. I love Christmas ornaments. We also do a book swap. It's not really involved. It's not really making or creating, but we do a book stop. We'll talk about that more, I'm sure. Going to all the holiday parties and making stockings for others. You guys are fantastic. I love all these ideas that we're putting out. It's officially October. We can start talking about all of this. So with that, definitely mark your calendars for next week. Rosa's Holiday Your Way. I am so sorry if you miss out. I'm trying to give you guys plenty of warning and ways to get in on this, but it is what it is. It'll be next week. Next week's show is going to be our birthday show. Lots of giveaways, lots of free stuff. If you like fabric and you like stuff, definitely join us. All right, that is it for me, gang. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your day, and we will see you soon. Bye now. And cut. Thank you so much for watching our video. We have so much fun making these, and we hope that you were both delighted and inspired by what you just watched. This video was sponsored by Cotton Cuts. Cotton Cuts is your one stop for all the best fabric and thread memberships. Love fabric? We've got you covered. Love thread? We've got you covered. We get that no two quilters are cut from the same cloth, which is why our memberships are as unique as you. We also have the largest block of the month in the world. Over 4,000 detectives solve our puzzle mystery quilts every year, and you can join them. Simply go to cottoncuts.com to learn more about all the awesome and fun things that we're doing. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to make sure you get all of our new fresh content every time it comes out. Thank you so much. Happy sewing enthusiasts, and we will see you soon. Bye now.